Okay, so for today's deep dive, I want to take you to a very specific place, in time.
Let's do it.
So picture this. It's a crisp, cold morning, Tuesday, January 7th. We are in Maplesville, Alabama.
A quiet town. The kind of place where, big news is usually high school football.
Right. But on this Tuesday, everything is about to change.
And it all starts with one guy, a man named James Cooper.
He's a technician, right, for the water department.
Yeah. He's standing at the base of the town's main water tower, this giant steel structure, 150 feet tall, just looming over everything.
It's the kind of thing you see every day but never really look at.
Exactly. It's just background. But for James, this is his office for the day. He's doing a routine quarterly inspection.
So he starts that long climb up the ladder, boots on steel.
And you have to imagine what that's like. The higher you go, the more the wind picks up. He finally gets to the top, to the catwalk, and he cracks open the access hatch.
What do you even expect to see in there? Just darkness and water.
That's it. Maybe some sediment. You definitely don't expect the water to be looking back at you.
Yeah.
He clicks on this heavy-duty flashlight, shines it down into the dark, and he sees a shape.
Not just debris.
No, it's not a leaf, not some plastic bag. It's huge, and it's moving, like, with purpose.
I can't even imagine. Your brain just short circuits.
He scrambles down that ladder. Probably way too fast. Grabs his supervisor, Mike Thompson, and basically drags him back up.
And they both look in.
And the debris turns. It has whiskers. It has fins. And they realize they're staring at a 4.5-foot-long, 300-pound blue catfish.
300 pounds. Just to put that in perspective for everyone, that's like double the world record for that species, isn't it?
It's basically a biological impossibility.
They ended up naming him Willie Nelson.
They did. And based on the science of it, the best guess is that Willie Nelson has been living in the town's water supply for about 30 years.
And this is where we have to pause, because this story, it's more than just a funny local news bit.
Oh, much more. When you dig into the ADEM reports, the court filings, the town council minutes, this isn't a story about a fish. It's a story about what happens when you drop a grenade of pure weirdness into a small town.
The fish was like a catalyst. It broke reality.
Yeah.
We're not just talking biology. We were talking lawsuits, supernatural accusations, conspiracy theories about Chinese spy fish.
And my favorite, a proposal to drop a live bear into the water tower.
We will absolutely get to the bear fight. But first, we have to tackle the question that I know everyone listening is screaming right now.
Is the water safe?
Yeah. If you've been drinking fish water for 30 years, are you okay? I'd be checking myself into a hospital.
That was the panic on the ground, too. The Alabama Department of Environmental Management, ADEM, they were on site almost immediately.
What'd they find?
They ran every test you can imagine. Bacteria, E. coli, chemicals, everything. Yeah. And the lead inspector, Patricia Rodriguez, her report said the water was pristine.
Pristine. How is that physically possible? A 300-pound animal. It lives, it eats, it has to produce waste.
It does. But you're missing two things: dilution and filtration. First, 50,000 gallons is a huge amount of water, constantly cycling and being treated.
Okay, so it's diluted.
But there's more. Dr. James Richardson from Auburn University pointed out that in a weird way, Willie was actually part of the cleaning crew.
He was working for them.
An unpaid intern, yeah. Catfish are scavengers. They eat organic stuff. So any algae, any bugs that got in that tank, Willie ate them. He was keeping his own house clean to survive.
The very tidy roommate.
Yeah.
That's wild. But it just leads to the next question. How in the world did he get in there?
This is the bird drop theory. It's the best explanation the scientists have.
A bird dropped him in.
You have to go back like 25, 30 years. Yeah. Picture an osprey or a hawk fishing in the nearby Coosa River.
Okay, he grabs lunch.
Right. It plucks a tiny little blue catfish out of the water, just a few inches long. It's flying over the town, and maybe the fish wriggles free or the bird just loses its grip.
And it just happens to fall into the open hatch of the water tower.
Exactly. Standards were different back then. The hatch might have been open for ventilation. The little fish falls, hits 50,000 gallons of water, and survives.
Talk about a lucky break. 1 second you're bird food, the next you're in a predator-free mansion.
And that's the key to his size. Dr. Lisa Chen at Auburn called it an enclosed ecosystem. Think about it. In a river, you're fighting currents, dodging predators, dealing with temperature swings.
Willie had none of that.
Zero stress. The water temperature was stable, no predators. And the walls of the tank were constantly growing this biofilm of algae. a high-protein buffet.
An all-you-can-eat buffet where the food grows on the walls.
Dr. Chen literally called it a giant aquarium with room service. Willie just sat there, ate, and grew. He became this incredible statistical outlier.
Now, I did see some debate about this. A local guy was saying he couldn't be a blue catfish, that he had to be a Mekong giant catfish from Vietnam or something.
Yeah, that theory popped up because of the size. Mekong giants can get to 600 pounds.
So it makes sense on paper.
It does, but the Auburn team pointed to the water temperature. Alabama gets cold in the winter. A tropical fish like a Mekong giant would have died the first time the water hit 40 or 50 degrees. Willie is a local boy, just a very, very big local boy.
So the science all checks out. The water's safe. The fish's origin story is plausible. If this were a movie, the credits would roll here.
But this is Maplesville, and this is where the story shifts from biology to sociology.
Let's talk about the vegetarians.
Crystal Morrison and Derek Chen. The town's only two, apparently.
When they heard the news, they were horrified. They coined a term I'd never heard before: involuntary pescatarianism.
It sounds kind of funny, but to them, it was deeply serious. A violation.
I saw a clip of them. The Crystal said, "We have been involuntarily consuming fish molecules. Our bodies have been compromised."
That's their whole argument. They sued the town for $250,000, but it's what they're demanding that's really out there.
They want blood transfusions.
Yes, they want medical blood transfusions to scrub their blood of catfish contamination.
They think they've absorbed fish DNA into their veins from drinking the water.
That is what they believe, yes. They feel genetically tainted.
Okay, let's just pause. That's not how digestion works, is it?
Not even close. Dr. Michael Torres from the local hospital had to issue a statement explaining that your stomach breaks everything down into basic amino acids. You absorb the building blocks, not the blueprint.
So there's zero fish DNA in their blood.
Biologically impossible. But, facts don't always calm a feeling of violation. They even started a GoFundMe.
How's that doing?
It's raised $43, and 40 of that came from one person.
Let me guess. Randy Pickett.
Randy Pickett, which is the perfect segue to the next layer of chaos, the supernatural and the conspiratorial.
Before we get to Randy's unified theory, we have to talk about Pastor Dale Hutchins.
Pastor Hutchins of the New Covenant Fire and Brimstone Church, he has a different take. He went on the radio and said, Willie isn't a fish.
What is he then?
He's a demon.
A demon. In the water tower.
A demon in the water tower, waiting.
Waiting for what?
Waiting for a possum yoga portal to open.
I'm sorry, did you say possum yoga?
Possum yoga. Apparently, a few months ago, a yoga class on some old school grounds was interrupted by possums. Pastor Hutchins believes this opened a gateway to hell.
And the fish,
Yeah.
the demon, is connected to this.
His logic is that demons exist outside of time. So the demon manifested as a fish 30 years ago to lie and wait for the yoga portal to open in 2025.
That is some four-dimensional chess. What did he want to do about it?
He offered to climb the tower and perform an exorcism.
Of course he did.
The town politely declined. But that brings us back to Randy Pickett, the conspiracy theorist. He thinks it's less theological and more geopolitical.
Well, it's the spy fish theory.
This is the spy fish theory. He connects Willie to the possum yoga, but also to rumors of dire poodles from a secret Chinese genetics lab, and, my favorite, the ghost of comedian Jerry Clower performing kung fu.
You cannot make this stuff up.
But for Willie, his main theory is that the fish is a Chinese biosurveillance organism monitoring American water consumption.
So you're the town council, you have vegetarians demanding blood transfusions, a pastor wanting to fight a demon, and a guy saying you have a communist spy fish, and you still have to figure out what to do with the actual physical fish.
Right. And the big problem is money. It costs $45,000 to drain and clean the tower.
And you can't just scoop them out.
Yeah.
He's huge, the hatch is small.
Exactly. Professional extraction was quoted at $30,000. The town doesn't have a giant catfish eviction line in the budget.
Which brings us to my favorite moment in this entire story. The town council meeting. And Tyler Jenkins.
Tyler Jenkins, the assistant manager's assistant in training, a young man with ideas.
He hears we have a fish problem and proposes a solution that is so perfectly unhinged.
He suggests a biological control agent.
He wants to drop a black bear into the water tower.
He does.
To fight the fish.
To fight the fish. Or, as a backup, a Burmese python.
What was the logic there? Bear eats fish, problem solved.
That was part of it. But the real genius, and I am using that word loosely, was his business model.
Oh, this gets better.
He wanted to install waterproof cameras and live stream the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah,
bear vs. giant catfish.
He wanted to monetize municipal maintenance as a death match.
He projected that ad revenue and donations would cover the cost and even net the town an $8,000 profit.
I mean, he's not wrong. People would absolutely watch that.
It would go viral in a second.
Yeah.
But the scientists from Auburn were, horrified. Dr. Richardson had to explain that a bear can swim, but it can't tread water forever in a sheer-walled tank.
The bear would just drown.
And then you'd have a 1,000-pound rotting bear carcass in your drinking water, which is a slightly bigger health hazard.
What about the python?
Even worse, a python might kill the fish, then it would swallow it, and then you'd have a 400-pound snake in a food coma at the bottom of the tank for weeks. How do you get that out?
This creates a worse problem.
But the residents were afraid of something else. They weren't worried about the biology. They were worried about the Pokemon Go effect.
They thought people would show up.
They were terrified of influencers and streamers trying to climb the tower to capture the bear or the fish. They didn't want their town to become a meme.
But there was one voice of reason in that meeting. A mechanic, right? Wayne Henderson.
Wayne stood up. And he didn't argue science or theology. He argued Darwinism. He just said it's a self-solving problem.
How so?
He said, and this is a direct quote, "Anyone dumb enough to climb a 150-foot tower to catch a bear fighting a demon catfish is going to remove themselves from the gene pool."
It's dark, but he's not wrong.
It pretty much ended the debate for the night.
So where does that leave us now? As of today, what's happening with Willie Nelson?
As of the last report, February 10th, Willie is still in there, still swimming. The town is completely paralyzed by indecision.
It feels like the fish has just exposed all the fault lines in the community.
It's a perfect mirror. You have science from Auburn offering facts that nobody really wants to hear. You have faith with Pastor Hutchins seeing a holy war in the plumbing. You have ethics with the vegetarians demanding impossible purity.
And you have capitalism with Tyler Jenkins trying to turn it all into a spectacle.
And in the middle of it all, just floating in the dark, is Willie, the only one who's been a quiet, peaceful resident for 3 decades.
There is that Team Save Willie movement now, though.
There is. And they ask what might be the most important question in this whole saga.
Which is?
If the water is scientifically proven to be clean, and if Willie has been living there longer than half the people complaining, doesn't he basically have squatters' rights?
It's his home. The only one he's ever known.
Team Save Willie argues that trying to rescue him now would just kill him. He wouldn't survive in a real river. He doesn't know how to hunt or deal with currents.
So the most humane thing to do might actually be to leave the giant fish in the drinking water.
It's a choice between control and coexistence. Do we need our world to be completely sterile and predictable? Or can we accept that sometimes life finds a way into our systems, and if it's not hurting anything, maybe we just let it be?
And that's the question I want you, the listener, to think about. If you found out Willie was in your water tower, and you saw the lab report saying the water was perfect, would you want him gone? Or would you just raise a glass of tap water to the old guy and let him keep swimming?
Sometimes the monster in the closet is just a roommate keeping the place clean.
On that note, we're going to leave you to ponder the fate of Willie Nelson. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Stay curious.
See you next time.